In this video, I'm going to teach you how to machine polish your car in order to take your paint from looking like this to this. Let's get started. So the first step to polishing your car is to ensure you are wearing proper PPE. Make sure you have some nitrile gloves to protect your skin, and also ensure you are working in a well-ventilated area if you don't have a respirator in order to filter out the toxic vapors these products release. Now, while an N95 doesn't filter vapors, I still wear one just in case to block any physical particles from the polishes and compounds. So with all the safety prep out of the way, the actual first step to polishing your car is to prep the surface by removing all surface contamination. Begin by ensuring your paint is clean by either washing it or using a quick detailer spray. Because I had just washed the car the day before in this video, it was pretty clean, so I just quickly cleaned the hood with my quick detailer of choice, Griots Speed Shine. So once you have cleaned the surface of your car, the next step is to clay bar it to remove any embedded contaminants in the paint. You will know if you need to clay bar your paint if it makes a scratchy noise when running your fingers over it like this, or if it doesn't feel smooth to the touch. After clay barring your car, you will know if it worked because the paint will feel extremely smooth when you run your fingers over it, nor will you hear any noise. The clay bar I'm using in this video is the Griots synthetic clay. This synthetic clay is more effective yet easier to use than real clay, making it my go-to choice of clay bar for any level of contamination on a car. So in order to clay bar your car properly, ensure the surface is clean as we just discussed, then liberally apply your lubricant of choice onto the surface. Then with light pressure, move your hand in a quick back and forth motions like you see me doing right here. Now, it is important to note when using a clay bar, you need to ensure you have a lot of lubrication on the surface in order for it to work properly. You will know if the surface is not wet enough because the clay bar will stick to the surface and not move. I use Griots Speed Shine as the lubricant for my clay because it provides an extremely slick surface and is even intended to be used as a clay bar lubricant. I've linked all these products below on Amazon if you want to get them for yourself. Now, some of you might be wondering if clay barring your car is a necessary step before polishing it, and it absolutely is. The car I'm working on right here is a brand new car. It's only a year old, but as you can hear, it already has a ton of contaminants embedded into the paint. And if you do not remove these before you go in with your machine polisher, there is a chance that you will cause even more damage because what's going to happen is your pad is going to cut into all that dirt, it's going to pick it up, and then proceed to swirl it all over the surface of your vehicle. So in order to prevent further damage, you must clay bar the surface of your car before machine polishing it to ensure the best finish possible. So after you've washed and clay barred your paint, you are now ready to start polishing your car. But before I show you how to polish your car, we need to quickly go over the tools that you will need for this job. I highly recommend a random orbital polisher. These are dummy proof and make it nearly impossible to burn through your paint or cause any clear coat damage whatsoever. Now, you will obviously also need a polish and compound depending on the level of correcting that needs to be done. I'll get into more on this later, the differences between polish and compound. But aside from that, you will also need a polishing pad or correcting pad, such as the ones I have here. Additionally, you will also need several microfiber towels for polish removal. And most importantly, be sure to also have on hand a really bright LED shop light or something similar to that to be able to inspect your paint. Personally, in this video, I will be using the Griots G9 Random Orbital Polisher paired with the Griots Polish and a Grant's Low Cut High Finish Polishing Pad. My all-time favorite polish to use is the Griots Polish, and I highly recommend it if this is your first time ever polishing a car. Not all polishes are made the same, and some are a lot more difficult to work with than others. So if you want an easier to work with polish, I highly recommend the Griots, especially if you are a beginner. Now, the last element we need to discuss before putting pad to paint is whether you should be using a compound or polish to correct your paint, because there is a very big distinction between the two, and they're used for two very different purposes. So to explain the difference between the two, being a polish versus a compound, let's first talk about what a compound is and what it's used for. A compound is used to remove heavier and deeper imperfections in your paint, such as really bad swirls, marring, or scratches, whereas polishes are a less aggressive solution and they're used for refining, improving gloss, and removing minor imperfections. While polishes can remove swirls out of a car's paint and correct it at the same time while also enhancing gloss, this is not always the case. I have worked on cars previously that I had to use a compound to remove the swirls and marring out of the paint because the polish simply just wouldn't even make a dent in it. It just really all comes down to the paint you're working with and the level of damage, marring, or swirls that's going on. So if you're not sure which one to use, being a polish or compound, it's always best practice to start off with a polish and polishing pad first for two main reasons. Number one, a polish is less aggressive and will remove less clear coat. And second, if you are able to correct your paint with a polish and polishing pad, then you don't have to follow up again with another round of polishing, as you would have to do if you used a compound to correct your paint. And yes, you heard me right there. If you have to use a compound in order to correct your paint, you must follow it up with a polish, because a compound doesn't refine or improve the gloss in your paint, and it's going to leave it looking dull and hazy. So now that I've gone over all the differences between polish and compound and what they're used for, let's now put pad to paint. Begin by squirting 3 to 4 blobs of compound or polish onto your pad and rub it in to ensure you get an even coating on your pad. After you've done this, go and place it on your car and spread it around by pressing it down in the following manner, as you see me doing right here. Now, once you've done that, ensure the speed setting on your machine is set to the lowest setting. For my machine, it's 1, and then after it's set to the lowest setting, turn it on while the pad is in contact with the car. Otherwise, it's going to fling polish or compound everywhere, so ensure the pad is fully in contact with the car. And once you've done that, begin to spread your solution quickly around the area you're working. Now, once you have spread your solution in the small working area, you can bump the speed up to 2, 3, 4, 5, however fast you need it. The faster the rotation on your machine, the more cutting power and the more heat you're going to generate. Just a quick note, in order to remove the swirls on this car, I had to use speed setting 4 on my machine. The first time I did a pass, I was using speeds 2 and 3, and as you can see, it didn't quite remove all the swirls, but after you will see on my second pass, using speed 4, it completely removed all the swirls and made the paint look amazing. So as you're working your machine across the paint, do it in crosshatch patterns, going from side to side, up and down, just to make sure you get all the angles. Do a couple of passes like this, moving at a slow to medium speed. And if you're using a dual action polisher, do not worry about burning through your clear coat. It is nearly impossible due to the rotation of this machine. It's pretty much dummy proof. As long as you don't just sit and hold the machine in one spot for 5 minutes, pushing down on it with all your might, you're going to be perfectly fine. And speaking about pressure, you should not be pushing down on your machine at all, especially if you're working on a flat surface like I am right here on the hood. The weight of the machine resting on the car itself is enough to get the job done. However, if you are working on a side panel that is vertical, just ensure you are putting enough pressure so that the machine is fully in contact with the surface. Now, after you've done a couple of passes going up and down, left and right, the way you want to turn your machine off is by doing the following. Ensure that the pad is staying in full contact with the surface of your car, and then let go of the throttle, again while keeping the pad on the paint. Do this until it stops spinning. You don't want to lift the pad off the paint with it still spinning, because then you risk flinging polish or compound everywhere and just making a mess. Once your pad has fully stopped spinning, lift it off the car and grab your towels to start removing the polish or compound from your vehicle. Also, be sure at this stage to grab your bright LED light so that you can see all the polish or compound on your vehicle and you don't miss any spots. Me personally, I am using the Rip and Rag Ultra Tearaway towels. Video link top right hand corner of the screen if you want to check those out, as well as the Griots Polish removal towels to finish buffing it all off. I highly recommend these Griots polish removal towels, as they are fantastic at removing all the polish off the car due to the special weave they have on them. However, whatever towels you end up using, just be sure to have several on hand, as they become gunked up very quickly with the polish and start to become ineffective at removing it and just basically smeared everywhere. So once you've wiped off all the polish or compound, go back with your light to inspect the paint to see how well you did and if there's any swirls remaining. You might need to go back and hit the same spots again based on your results if all the swirls were not removed on the first pass. If they were not removed on your first pass, what you can do the second time is try moving the machine slower, allowing it to work each section more. You can also try using a faster speed. Like I said, on my first pass, I used speeds 2 and 3, which weren't quite enough. And on my second pass, I used speed 4, and that got all the swirls out. But just remember, if you have a really heavily swirled car or heavy marring in your paint, a polish with a polishing pad might not always do the job. Using a compound with a correcting pad may be necessary for paints with heavier and more intense defects. And again, I'm just speaking from personal experience here so that some of you don't make the same mistakes I did. The first car I ever corrected that had 10 years of swirls from improper hand washing, I for the life of me could not even make a dent in the swirls by using a polish, even paired with a heavy duty correcting pad. I had to switch to a compound and it made all the difference in the world. So don't do like me and listen to all the lies on the internet that tell you you can just simply correct your paint using a polish and a polishing pad, because that is not always the case. You may need to use a compound with a correcting pad. Now, before we move on, I wanted to show a quick before and after of the front lip of this car right here. As you can see, it's got some pretty heavy marring. And after just one pass with my polish and polishing pad, using speed setting 4, as you can see, all of that heavy marring and swirling is gone and it looks brand new. Now, as you continue to polish your car, there are a few tips you need to be aware of. And the first thing is that eventually your pad will start to run dry, spread less product, or just apply it unevenly. When that happens, it's simply time to just add more polish or compound to your pad. In order to do this, just squirt a few blobs, 2 or 3 blobs onto the pad and just continue working. Now, another tip is that if you're using a corded machine like I am right here, be sure and toss the cord over your shoulder while you work. This will help prevent it from dragging across your paint and causing potentially even more damage. Personally, I find that removing the polish or compound is the most tedious and annoying aspect of this entire process. The actual polishing with the machine is super straightforward and easy, but wiping off all that compound or polish can take a while, and you've got to be really thorough with it, because if you leave any behind and it dries to the paint, it's going to be a pain to deal with later. And one last important thing you need to know is that as you work, your pad will start to get caked up with polish or compound, and when this happens, it's not going to perform as well, and you'll need to clean it to keep it working effectively. The easiest way to clean it, if you don't have an air compressor, is to rinse it under a garden hose outside or stick it under your sink. Use your fingers to work out all the buildup of polish, contaminants, compound, whatever have you. Now, once it's clean, just put the pad back on your machine, turn it to full speed in order to spin out all the excess water and quickly dry it. Now, to avoid spraying water everywhere and soaking yourself and whatever else, do this behind a wall or stick it inside of a box if you can, because it will make a mess. Now, if you are polishing an entire car or an older one that has flaking paint, you might need to clean the pad multiple times during the job. In that case, it might be easier to have several clean pads on hand, ready to swap out as you go, and then just clean them all afterwards. And as long as you clean your pads properly after each use, you can reuse them multiple times. And before we conclude this video, I have one final step I recommend doing after you have finished polishing your car. I highly recommend applying some ceramic wax or some sort of coating immediately after. With your paint being freshly clay barred and then polished, or if you had to compound it and then polish it, whatever coating you apply afterwards is going to bond extremely well and last way longer than if you applied it to an unprepped surface. My ceramic wax of choice is the Griots 3-in-1 ceramic, and in order to apply this, it's pretty simple. Get yourself an applicator pad like the one I have here, spray it onto the pad 2 or 3 squirts, then in vertical motions, simply just spread it over your paint. Now be sure to work in small sections at a time. And after you've applied it with the applicator pad, immediately go back with the towel to buff it off. Make sure you use your detailing light to ensure you buff it all off and don't miss any spots. You do not want this drying to your paint, as it will be a pain to remove later. And that's why I said to work in small sections at a time. To buff off all the ceramic, I'm using the Rip and Rag Ultra Towels, and they work extremely well for removing sealants, ceramics, or waxes on your car, as that is what the weave on them is specifically intended for. And just a forewarning, when working with these ceramic solutions, especially if using a professional one, be sure to use them in a well-ventilated area or wear a respirator, as these things release a lot of harmful VOCs and vapors that are really going to mess you up. Not a lot of people talk about this, but I want to preach and get on my soapbox here. A lot of these car detailing products release some pretty toxic stuff, things that you don't want to get on your skin, nor things that you want to breathe. And I feel like a lot of people out there don't really preach the safety aspect when you're working with these more intense detailing products like this. So this is just me getting on my soapbox, making sure all you stay safe out there, and you're wearing your proper PPE, respirators, working in well-ventilated areas, what have you. So with all that being said, thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful in learning how to polish your car, be sure and leave a comment below saying, hi, hello, this was great, or you're awful, stupid, whatever. Doesn't really matter. The YouTube algorithm loves comments, so if you found this video helpful, would really appreciate a comment on the video and help support my channel. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget, stay glossy, my friends.